I wanted to understand how an aeroplane is able to blow air backwards and yet pushes forward. The science behind. And I wanted to understand it as someone who is not into physics, someone who is more literal. I wanted to understand it in layman's terms, if one should say. So I went digging, YouTube video after YouTube video with no success. I only managed to understood how wings operate, but I could not really put it into theory and even put it into practice. I even went as far as buying a hair blower. It didn't work. Used a fan. It didn't work. Until I thought about we are living in a pressurized environment, which is our atmosphere. So our atmosphere is practically air molecules that are pressurized. And then I went further. I thought about in high school, we learned that air usually moves from higher concentration to lower concentration. I thought about a spray can. If you open a spray can, because inside the spray can, the air is high pressure, so it rushes outside where there's low pressure. Now to understand it now, in aeroplanes, remember what jet engine does? Jet engines, they took air and then it's heated, pressurized, and then it's forced out with a lot of pressure. So as this air is forced out, as it goes out, it's a pressurized air. So what happens is it pushes all the air molecules on its path until it reach a resistance. Because remember that we are in an atmosphere, there's a resistance, or I should say a drag. It's the same drag when you throw a rock, it falls down. The same drag, if you pull an elastic band, it reaches a resistance and then it comes back. So when the air that is being pushed reaches a resistance, because remember now that when this air is pushed, it creates a vacuum or it creates a region of low pressure. So when this one reaches the drag, you understand? It rushes forward. Okay, let me explain further there. As the air is rushed out of the jet engine, it reaches a point of resistance where it cannot go further. Now, because this air is having a lot of pressure, and then it has created, where it has pushed air molecules, there it created a vacuum or a region of low pressure. So the air rushes backwards and pushes the plane forward continuously. That's the process. If you want to understand it again in layman's term, is just understand that the theory of Isaac Newton, that for every action there's always a reaction. It's the same thing when you're swimming. You push water backwards, but the water pushes you forward. It's the same concept. It's the same concept again, how birds fly. They push air backwards and then it pushes them forward. So for every action, there is always reaction. We are living in a pressurized atmosphere. The jet engine pushes air backwards. The air reaches a resistance. When it reaches a resistance, it creates a zone of low pressure. When it creates a zone of low pressure, the air comes back and then it pushes the aeroplane forward. The same thing again with rockets. They operate under the same principle. Again, I hope I've done justice to this topic. I'm out.